remember now my previous point was on the fact that in the design field in general, if we want to make a name of ourselves, so being known for what we do, we have to go through like awards and stuff like that. So this is one of the ways you could do it. But currently, most of them are based upon the fact that you will provide something visual. It's like
very much
the design field is sustained by organizations that provide awards and conferences around the people who do more visual stuff than deep UX stuff. And how do you think we could or maybe it exists and it's incentivize behaviors in design from designers to awards projects that are not based on visual stuff?
Yeah, I definitely agree that that's a problem or a gap or both. And I have experienced myself having projects where we had huge results, like really great UX, measured, proven, big results that were like immediately didn't make it past the first round of judge filtering in something in a UX award, and then the winner was like Nike's new super awesome thing, which quantitatively was not even close to the result we got in our project, but visually was so much nicer. And the budget was also probably 10 times bigger. So yeah, I definitely agree that this is a thing, and I don't know if I have ever seen any kind of award or recognition that's truly based on like proper UX stuff. I have said in the past that I would really like, if it was possible to organize, I would really like to have UX awards that are more like a competition, like a Kaggle competition, but for UX results. So like, let's say Amazon offered their checkout as a competition, and you could design anything you want, and then they have so many page views, you could probably A/B test 100 different versions of it, or 1,000 or whatever, simultaneously, and then whose is actually best. An amazing UX competition, and it's big, and it wouldn't have to be something conversion related like that, but where you have measured behavior as the goal instead. But it's a competition based, or I think there's some design competitions that are a little more serious, like or not competitions, but I feel like the Red Dot Award, for example, that's more of an industrial design award, but most of the time the things that win are very pretty, but I think they, like in industrial design or architecture or those kind of design fields, I think they care a lot more about the solution rather than just does it look really nice. But also the winners usually look really nice too. And I think that would be the ideal competition, or awards would be something that's very serious about design, like universally designed. They want to see something that's a nice solution that also manages to be elegant and beautiful on the other side. But I personally haven't seen that for web.
Does it has to be this way? Does it has to be? Do we need? It's like a moral statement, but do we need really beautiful stuff if it works? What are your thoughts?
Need. I mean,
do we want and do we need? Maybe these two statements.
Yeah, we probably want it. I think like the best of the best usually manage to be everything. Like the best designers, the best UX people in the world, I think probably also create things that are pretty nice to look at, or the best solution projects or designs. But and somebody, I think if we had an audience or something, somebody should come in from the side here and say that users tend to think beautiful things are more usable, even if they're not. So there might be some value to beauty alone.
Yeah.
But I think there are lots of examples of very good UX that is not particularly nice to look at. Mm-hmm. I think Reddit for like 10 years was pretty ugly.
Yeah, true.
But it's Reddit, like it worked really well.
And eBay as well was really ugly during years.
Yeah. So I think that you can't overlook things because they're not beautiful. And I think that's completely missing from recognition in the world, that there are some really great UX solutions that maybe the UI designer wasn't super good or something. But yeah, I like architecture. I use architecture as an example, like an analogy for UX and UI design all the time. That a good architect is going to have a brilliant building that is also pretty nice to look at in context, fits the neighborhood, solves the family's living needs, whatever.
Do you think there's differences between architecture and what we're doing in the digital field?
I think there are definitely differences. I think the principles are the same. Like if you go all the way down to the basic principles, it's basically the same. But I mean, in architecture, you have to think about a building lasting for 100 years, and you need building permits, and there's a lot. And the engineering involved in something like a bridge is. I think that you could definitely compare that to like a data-heavy digital product, where there's a very heavy engineering thing you have to consider as the designer. So I think that like you can compare them, but digital. I've been saying lately that I'm jealous of architects in a way, because they get to make things that will exist longer than they're alive. And in the digital world, if you make something that lasts 5 years, that's amazing.
True. That's true.
I think we almost optimize in the digital world. We optimize the other way. We want to make things as flexible and easy to change and cheap as possible. So in that part of architecture is completely the opposite.
Yeah, true. And maybe we it could be a good thing in a way if we could think about our products if it will last for not forever, but for more than 5 years. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I think that especially if you work with good developers, I think you get like a good UX team and a good dev team working together. I think you're always thinking about how the architecture will grow and scale. And okay, so now we have 10,000 users, but what happens when we get to 1 million or 10 million users, and we need a whole new thing? And so I think that's maybe the right. It's the same mentality, but. We don't have the luxury of walking by our building 20 years later and yeah, that was good.
Maybe with all the hype around virtual reality, maybe one day we could virtually see it as a building.
Yeah, maybe we'll get into a Ready Player One.
Yes.